Hello.
So now let's resume our training, right? So we just discussed about the technical aspects of SAP. In the technical aspects, we discuss about SAP system architecture, technical architecture.
Sir, please turn on to record it, sir.
Yeah, sure. Recording. Allow. Allow recording. Yeah. So I have allowed all of you for recording. You can record. Right. So so we just discussed about the technical aspects of the SAP, right? So technical, and then SAP system architecture, technical architecture, and landscape architecture. Now, as we just discussed about the presentation layer, now we will be using, now we will discuss in detail about the SAP graphical user interface, which is in presentation layer. And let's see how by using this application how we access the SAP. Okay, so now there are two SAP user interfaces. One is graphical user interface, one is Fiori apps. First we will start with the graphical user interface, and then we will discuss about the Fiori app. And let's discuss. So so I will be providing you the training on the SAP S/4HANA MM, right? And this I will be accessing through remote desktop. So you will also have access to SAP through remote desktop, right? So we will be accessing through remote desktop here. Connecting to the remote desktop. Now, yes, it's connected. Now you see it is now connected to the remote desktop. Now through remote desktop, in the remote desktop you can see this SAP logon is available. So if we click on this icon, you see it shows all the available servers, right? It shows this SAP S/4HANA 1909, 1809, and 1610, and then ECC server is also available, right? So these servers are available. You can also access the same thing. So I will be providing training on this one. So when we enter here, when we select the server, it will ask for the user and password. It will ask for the user and the password. You see, it is showing the client 800 because 800 series is assigned to training clients, like we just discussed, right? So you will be provided the username and password for remote desktop as well as for the SAP for different servers. So you will see that the different servers will have different username and password. So that information will also be provided. Now we are in 1909 SAP S4HANA 1909, right? So this is the username, then password. Yeah. So you see, this is the home page of the the GUI, we can say, right? The main page here. Now let's try to understand what is GUI, how it works, and all those things, right? So SAP GUI is an acronym of the term SAP Graphical User Interface, which is part and parcel of presentation layer of SAP. Ideally, there are three layers which we just discussed. SAP GUI is an important ERP tool that allows SAP users to use various software applications by providing easy to use graphical interface. Runs on operating systems like Linux, Microsoft Windows, and others. This SAP component dominates a major share of the worldwide market and offers convenient accessibility to the views, formats, and applications and other. Okay. It also allows users to remotely access the SAP central server of an organization via a network, right? So in this three system landscape, we will be discussing about the GUI in the presentation layer. So if we talk about the GUI families, right? So three types of, we can say GUI is available, that is graphical user interface. SAP GUI for Windows. So you can see here, this is the SAP GUI for Windows, right? And then similarly, SAP GUI for Java, which is compatible with other operating systems like Linux, Unix, Mac, and it is also compatible with Windows. However, this first one is compatible only with Windows operating system. And similarly, SAP GUI for HTML, so which is nothing but the Fury app, which is web based, right? So we will be discussing Fury app as well. So you see, these are the GUI family. Now we will see the different parts of this GUI screen, right? What are these different parts, right? So you see, if we compare with this images, it shows different parts of this one, right? So this is called as the this first bar is called as the menu bar because it contains menus. So this is called as the menu bar, and then the just bar beneath it, right below it, is the standard toolbar. You can see this is the standard toolbar. This one is the standard toolbar, and right. So because these are the standard tools, like in MS Office, Word, Excel, we have the menu bar, standard toolbars like this. So similarly, this is the toolbar and this is the menu bar. And under this toolbar, you see this is called as the command field or the command bar. Okay, so this is called the command field on the command bar. And you see the title here, SAP Easy Access. Now it is showing SAP Easy Access. If I go to any transaction like creating PO ME21N, so it will, the title also gets changes based on which screen we are, right? So this is called as the title bar. Okay. And this bar is called as the application toolbar because it changes with the application. For example, right now it is showing these tools. If I go to any other application, like again, take the example of creating the PO, you see different different tools are there changing, right? So it changes based on the application. That is the reason why it is called as application toolbar. Okay, and this is the SAP main menu, and this is the favorite. So let's see how it is created. And then besides this one, this area is called DINPRO. This area is called as DINPRO area. And this bar, you see the below bar, this one, the status bar. So same thing, we can see this is the status bar. You can see here it is written, we can say session under session underscore manager, right? This one, right? So managers, SAP S4HANA 19, whatever you see, this is called as the status toolbar, right? Now let's go and see in detail about the different component of this one, right? So let me, yes, now is now more clear screen. First, we will try to understand what is SAP logon, right? So this one is called as the SAP logon, from where we try to access the SAP. For example, if I close this one, right, close, there is no screen. So here, this is called as the SAP logon, SAP logon 740, you see. So this is called as the SAP logon. What is the purpose and significance of it, right? So SAP logon, it's a Windows program to log on to SAP systems on Windows PC. Okay, it mediates between SAP system and the SAP GUI user interface. Okay, it displays a list of available SAP systems. You can see it is displaying the list of available systems, right? The third bullet point. It displays a list of available SAP systems and automatically selects servers with the best current responses. So, and even like you see, currently we have SAP logon. So SAP 710, SAP 740, SAP 750, these are available, right? So that is the significance of SAP logon. Now, we will go into the SAP S4HANA 1909. This is the logon. Now we are accessing the GUI, graphical user interface, with the user and password. Now you see this one. This is SAP logon. We are now in SAP login. Sorry, we are in here in SAP login. It will show the client number. It will ask for the username and password, and the language is set default, right? Right. So you see, for as we just discussed about the system landscape, every client will have their own numbers, right? Development 100, configuration 120. Similarly, this training clients are given a series of 800. So 800 is for the training client, right? So this is the training client. Then it will ask for the username and password. So in real time, this the username and passwords are created by the technical consultant, that is the basis consultants. So it comes under their scope to create usernames and password and all that one, right? So it comes under that one. So now for this, we have a username and then the password is given. Right, now you see, just enter into the SAP screen here. So here we will first discuss about the SAP main menu. What is this main menu and what are all these? So this is called as SAP standard menu. Okay, and it will have, you see, it has different nodes here, all the tree or the folder. It is called as node, tree, or the folder, right? So these are the synonyms which are used here, and every node or tree will have some node items or tree items or the transactions in it, right? For example, you see, if you remember, yesterday I was explaining about different SAP modules, and I just informed that some of modules are grouped into like logistics module, accounting module, HR module, all that one. You see the HR module and some other information and all this one, right? You see, so it is grouped. So different modules are grouped into like logistics, accounting, and all. So this materials management, sales and distribution, transportation, plant maintenance, production, all those modules comes under logistics. And modules related to accounting like financial accounting, controlling, investment, banking, all that comes under accounting. And modules related to HR, it comes under HR category. So these are different modules, right? So you see, this is called as the node and then this one node. These are the node items. So these are the, for example, this is logistics is one node, and then under this node you see these are the node items or the functionalities or the objects. Like again in materials management, let's say there are, you know, the functionalities to create purchase order, to carry out goods receipt, invoice processing, and all that is available. Invoice verification, inventory management, all are available. For example, to create the purchase order, just for example, right? Create the purchase order. You see, it is create purchase order, right? MEE21N, right? Create. So this is called as the transaction code. So transaction codes are nothing but like shortcut keys. We use shortcut keys like Control F to find, Control P for print, Control C for copy, and Control V for paste, right? So that, and in SAP, so these are also called as the, you know, short transaction codes, right? So which are used, right? Instead of following this path, if I directly type ME21, it will take me to the same screen. All right. So that is the benefit of having the transaction code. So we will be discussing about the transaction code in detail as well. So this is the SAP main menu, right? So besides this, it is possible to have the favorite menu, like in our like even in our email accounts, we create our favorite folders and keep all our information in that. So similarly, here it is possible to create the folders within this one. For example, let's assume that the procurement officer, the procurement manager, they carry out some transactions very frequently, right? If they don't remember or they want to quickly access it, so what happened, instead of following this path, they can directly move this transaction to the favorite, like you see, add to the favorite, and then it will be added to the favorite, and then he can easily access this one. For example, let me first minimize this tree here. You see now it is added here in this favorite. You can add a folder. For example, like here we can say this is our batch number 50. This is the batch number 50. Let's create this folder. Now you see the folder is created. You can move any transactions here, and you can directly. So instead of going, you know, here all that, following all these steps, you can create in the folder and directly access the same transactions instead of this one. Instead of going here in the logistics and then the materials management, purchasing, purchase order, create, and here you see, instead of going through all this, if he creates directly in the favorite, he can directly access it, right? So that is the benefit of you know, having the favorite. So that favorite option is also available here, right? So, so custom folders are can be created, like I just created a custom folder 50, and then all favorite transactions which are frequently used can be just you know, drag and drop. That is possible. Now you see the first here, it is called as the user menu. What is the significance of this user menu? This user menu is actually, it is specific to the user specific menu as per the role, because the different for example, if we talk about the procurement department, in procurement department, you know, we have people like procurement manager, then procurement executive, procurement color, different designations, right? So different designations have different authorizations, different access. So that based on that, the profiles are created in SAP and which is assigned. So that accesses and that profile is available here. It is user specific menu. It shows the user specific menu as per the role or the profile. So business user roles are assigned by the basis of security consult. So the basis consultants, that is the technical consultants, are authorized to create these you know, the profiles or the roles. So that is the user menu, right? And then you see this is the main menu, right? This is the main menu. Uh, yeah, this is the main menu and this is the user menu, which I just discussed, right? So you can hide and this one, right? So you can minimize this one. And then comes the SAP Business Workplace, which is also called as SAP BW. If I click on this one, you see, it will take us to another screen. So it takes us to another screen with inbox, outbox, and all this one. So let's try to understand what is this. So SAP Business Workplace, so it is called as BW, right? It provides a standard working environment in which every SAP user can carry out their share of business and communication processes in the enterprise. SAP users receive all work items that are assigned to them in the course of SAP business workflow and process the documents that were sent to them from the people or from SAP application, right? So, so that is the purpose of SAP Business Workplace. Now let's move to another, like multiple SAP sessions. Now you see, whatever you see right now, this is called as the session. So like this, maximum 6 sessions can be opened. This is one session. Now to create that sessions, you see, create new session. Here the option is available, and same option is available in other menu, right? So it is available, I think. You see new GUI windows here. This is so there are 2 ways or 3 ways to create. So let's create another session. This is session number 2, which I am creating. You see the session number 2. It will also come with this home page, right? So like this, up to session maximum of 6 sessions can be opened. Then later on the system will say, you see, now this is first session, second and third is open. Now open 4. So you can do, by opening multiple sessions, you can do multiple transactions or multiple activities. So this is session number 4, right? This is session number 2, and then we have session number 3, and then so this is session number 3, and this is session number 4, and then up to 6. It will allow up to only 6, not more than this one. Now this is session number 5. You see, this is session number 5, and then now let's open another session. This is session number 6. After this one, if I try, if I still try for another session, then it will, you know, see the message 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions are open. Now let's try for another session. Okay, then now you see what's the message: maximum number of GUI sessions are reached. The system will not allow more than this session. So in each session we can do different activities. So that is the purpose of having these sessions. Okay, right? So for example, now in first session, this one is open. In the second session, we can let's keep this as a home page same as. In this third session, let's open ME21N, like purchase order screen. In the fourth session, we can open another this one. So multiple activities can be carried out in these different sessions. Okay, so that is all about the multiple SAP sessions, and this is the shortcut key Control N to create the new session, right? So to create the new session, we can use this create new session option is available. Similarly, here under the systems, the create new system is also available right here under the systems, create new GUI windows. And besides this one, there is a shortcut key Control N. By using this one, the sessions can be created. Now so look at some of the standard settings of SAP systems, where we will try to identify about the SAP Business Suite, release, product version, and all those that information, right? So whenever All right, so that information is available. So I'm just closing, I'm just keeping only 1 or 2 sessions open, right? So here, right. So now let's go to the system status. So system status, it is available in system menu and then status. You see the system menu here and then status, go to the status. Here it shows the technical details of the SAP server. Like it is showing it's using the operating system Linux and the server name is this one, right? And you see it is showing the database as HANA database. This is the name which is given, right? And then other details like client, user, language. And if we want to see product versions and all the details, you see, if I click on this one, so all releases and products information is available here, right? And here installed products and all this complete information, like it is SAP S4 HANA on-premise. This is on-premise version, right? On-premise deployment, right? Cloud option is also available, but this is on-premise deployment option, right? See, all this technical information is available here. All right. So in this way, we can identify the system details. So it shows the system details like release, product version, operating systems, and database, right? So database we saw like HANA database and its product version 1909, all that information. Now let's go to the transaction codes and command keys, some information. Right. So now let's discuss about the transaction codes. The short form is T code. Transaction code is known as the T code. What is this transaction code? So as I said, you see, for every transaction or the activity which we carried out in SAP, there is a transaction code assigned to that activity. For example, to create the PO, it is ME21N. To change the PO, ME22N, right? To display the PO, ME23N. So these are called as the transaction codes. Instead of following this menu path, we can directly type this transaction code. Let me open another session, right? So this is the another session, right? So in this session, you can see now I'm trying to access this create the PO, right? Right, create the PO. In now let's using this menu, I'm trying to access the this PO creation screen. Now PO creation screen. In another session, here instead of following the menu path, I will directly type ME21N. It will take us to the same screen. See the same screen, right? So it's like the shortcut. By using that shortcut, we can directly jump to that screen. So that is the transaction code, which is the shortcut keys to access the SAP system task or applications like transactions, objects, customization, development, whatever, right? And then now let's go to some of the standard settings which we need to keep, because before we start using the SAP system, we should have the standard settings. So what is that standard setting? So standard settings, that setting is available in extras. So that setting is settings and then extras. Yes, I think it is available in environment, system, display. Right. Go to it is in the settings, extras and the settings. Where is the since we are in the purchase order screen, that is the reason why it is not showing. If I go back, you see extra is available on the home page. So for the settings, it is extras, and the set under extras menu, go to the settings. In these settings, we can, give some settings, like it is showing display favorite at the end. That is the reason why you see the favorite is at the end. Favorite is at the end, right? And similarly, do not display menu. If this one is selected, then you will see that the menu will not will disappear. Now it is showing SAP menu. As soon as I select and process it, you will see it will disappear. There is no SAP menu, right? Even if some case, if you also come across the same thing, you just need to go to the extras menu and uncheck this one, then it will appear again, SAP menu coming, right? So these are some of these settings which can be done. Do not display picture, because the picture can also be placed here, that information, right? And technical names. So technical names like the transaction codes are called as the technical names. Now, if you see here in the materials management purchasing, it is showing like these are the technical names, which is called as the transaction codes. So it is possible to hide this technical name as well. For example, now you see the go to the settings. If you say do not display technical names, if it is not selected, then you will see that this transaction codes will disappear. Now let's go here. Now again check, you will see the transaction codes are not available. You see no more transaction code, only description is available. So that is how the settings is used. Now let's discuss another important component of it. That is, so this is the command bar where the transaction codes are, entered. This is the command bar to enter the transactions code that direct to a SAP system task or application without using SAP menu. And some GUI options which are available, like if we see here the customizing look, right? So this SAP GUI option, right? To check that option, this is the customizing. Under this customizing options, and then we need to make sure that these two are selected under visualization one, and then again the controls, this show keys within the drop down list and sort keys by keys within drop down list. These two should be selected, because by default it is not selected, so we need to select it. So if it is not selected, we need to make sure that it is selected. So these are some of the standard settings and the options. In the document, I have provided some other information like some shortcut keys like F1, F2, all. We will be using all these one, and then some other shortcut keys as well. So this is all about the GUI. So from tomorrow onwards, we will be starting the SAP system, because yesterday and today we discussed basic about the SAP, what is SAP, what are different SAP business suites and all that one. From tomorrow onward, because today we discuss about the system landscape. Now we just discuss how to use SAP GUI. So from tomorrow onwards, we will be using the SAP GUI and all these options. Yeah, any question? Any question related to GUI, or I think, there is a question from Shaukat. Yes, Mr. Shaukat.
Yeah. What about the Fiori apps? GUI we discussed.
Yes. So in tomorrow's session, we will discuss the Fiori app. Then we will start with the actual SAP system usage. Because this is another, you see, I have just listed out. So in SAP user interface, first we discuss the graphical, then again we will be discussing the Fiori app tomorrow, and then we will go with the SAP enterprise structure. How to all these enterprise structure, how to utilize. So now today you got the idea of how to access, or how the different parts of GUI and how to do the transactions and all this. Right. So any question before we conclude today's session?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, as we know that the client is nothing but our customer, right?
Yes.
But after getting the deep information about its technical architecture and various landscape, we get to know that in a single server there are various type of clients with different
right.
So that is making me a bit confusing. I'm getting a perplex in that.
This is really good question. Most of the people get confused with this. So in general, in IT industry, when we say client is nothing but our customer to whom we are providing the services, right? Right. For example, if this Infosys or TCS or Accenture providing IT services to the Tata Motors, then the Tata Motors will be the client for the TCS or Infosys, whatever, right? So the client is nothing but the customer. So this is the generic term. When it comes to SAP, client is nothing but the the logical division of the SAP system, which we just discussed. So that is right. So let me take you to architecture. You see, so in the system, so there are different clients which are created, like in our computers, our in desktop. In our computer, we have the hard disk, and in our hard disk, we create the different drives, right? And these drives, they have their own purpose. Like C drive is created for to save all our programming files. These drives for some, and C drive for so number of drives are created as per our requirement, right? So similarly for SAP, in SAP system servers, different clients are nothing but these are the logical division of this system. So you can say this is like the system where different like we have the drives for different purposes. You can see the C drive folders or the files are not available in D drive, and similarly D drive information is not available in all this. So similarly in SAP, so the different clients are created. So we will be discussing about the clients as well. What is client? You see, in next class we will be discussing about in detail about this client as well. So what is client, how it is created, and all that one. So you will get more clarity in tomorrow.
I think in Mr. Tabrez, in simple terms, we can say different rooms.
Yeah, in layman language, we can say like different in a home, different rooms. We can say like this.
Yes.
Yeah, so we can compare with that one as well. That's a good example, Mr. Shaukat. Appreciate it. Right.
Thank you.
And the second thing is, sir,
huh.
when you tell us about that the product version of that S4 HANA, right?
Yes, yes.
In that you said that this S4 HANA business suites can be implemented with the three types. It means that on premises and the cloud.
Yeah, that is the deployment options which are available. You see here.
Yes.
Yeah, you see the deployment options. Different deployment options are available, like on-premise, cloud, and hybrid. So talking about the on-premise, this is nothing but this is the traditional model that is most commonly used, where software is installed and run by the customer on-site.
Okay.
And the cloud is nothing but, you see, the cloud technologies nowadays, there are limited and here actually the SAP is available on the cloud servers. Okay.
Yes.
And the cloud services are provided by the SAP, provided by you see Microsoft Azure, then Amazon is also have cloud services, right? So in order to reduce the capital investment on the IT infrastructure, the companies can go for this cloud deployment instead of having their everything set up in their office. They can
server maintenance, everything.
Yeah. If they have on-premise, then they need to maintain the hardware, networking engineers, and all that one. If they use the cloud, for example, if I want to, I have my own website. So to host my own website, I cannot have my own server and that engineers maintaining it. I will just take the service of the cloud service provider. They provide the server where my website is hosted.
Yes.
Similarly, that one. Okay. So
yes, sir.
That's what I wanted to discuss in today's session. So tomorrow we will start with Fiori app. Then we will be starting. We will from today itself we started using the SAP now. So we will go in detail. So thank you very much for attending today's session. Right after the training, I will be sharing the study material and later on the video recording as well. So thank you very much for attending. Look forward to see you.
So,
yeah,
Mr. Tabrez, a small favor.
Yeah.
from you and including the other team members. Is it okay? Can we start the class after 10 minutes? Like 10 o'clock we are starting, right? Indian timing.
Yeah.
Is it okay if we start 10, 10?
Yeah, I think
Just
that
10
will be
minutes.
fine for everyone if it is just 10 minutes,
If it's a request from my side from